Hello, just going to give a quick tour of the latest purchase. This is a 1986 305, like the other two that I have. This one is a GTX, however, which is slightly better equipped than the rest. By modern standards it wouldn't be very much, but it has electric windows and central locking, which in its day would have been big. It's sitting in the shed here. I'll connect the battery up and take it out of the shed and get a wee look at it outside. I'll just keep the battery disconnected to prevent it from discharging, because I don't drive this. It hasn't an MOT on it yet. I haven't really spent much time looking over it yet. But I know the battery was flat when I got it. That was the battery that come in it, and I've put a... I can't actually remember what that battery's out of. I think it was out of that one there. So I just leave the battery disconnected for that purpose. And put the bonnet down. Put this one here, this is the key for it. There we go. It's a different instrument cluster in the GTX to the regular versions. It's more like what's found in the 205. It's strange looking in the 305. It hasn't been screwed down correctly, I don't think. Screws missing underneath. There's no real point in being worried about it being clocked, because there's already 138,000 miles showing up. But anyhow, it's in neutral. Start it up. Starts up without any problems. A bit of a flat spot when you try to rev until it warms up. And it revs freely enough once it's going. It has the old soup stern style gearbox, and there's a bush in the way somewhere that would need to be resolved. Power steering's quite nice in the 305 for a change, and it drives okay once it gets going. Brakes are very squeaky. I'll turn it off now. So, inside the car, it is stinking of dog. The owner must have had dogs in it, because there's hairs in the boot, which you can see there. And it just wasn't kept tidy, this car. There's mouse droppings and many more mouse droppings in there. It's just not the cleanest example. But it does have a fun. The service history did come in this booklet pack, and as did the original touch-up paints, which don't seem to have been opened. The radio is currently, I've sent it away to get decoded. It was an old Philips unit, which looks correct for the sort of age. The gear stick, like most of the other manual ones that I've had, it seems to be disintegrating. I think that's the same type used in the 205, so I'd be able to get a spare gear stick somewhere. That centre part will lift out, and hopefully maybe I could get the outer part and replace it. The rest is standard 305. We've got the coin holder, ashtray, the big box down there. The electric windows is different, so press the button down and they work. on the driver's side. Which is nice to have in a 305. Above us we have it's a Britax sunroof. It's been properly installed, unlike the one in the red S5 305. There's no leaks and it looks well fitted on the outside, so it's a good sunroof to have. There's a cover there with a shade. Goes over, clicks into these here, and it sort of blocks out the sun. It's a good enough idea to have. Seats in these chairs, when I say I'll stand outside, would be referred to as velour. They're much harder wearing than the tweed seats fitted in the lower down models. So they haven't really suffered much wear in all their years. There's a wee tiny bit there, which could do with somebody that would know how to sew them seats would soon fix it. The door panel here in this driver's side has been damaged by a seatbelt here, but well, it's not too bad. There's the sunroof there. The silicone has been properly done. It's a good sunroof. This is the back of the car here. Again, not very clean. I'll be giving it a clean today sometime. I'm just going to show the car in the state that it arrived. There's dog prints here inside, but it's all there. There's no rips or tears or anything missing. Headline is clean and free of any damage, apart from these speakers in the back to go with the radio. But I'll try and get them the wee grills. It came with these here grills, but I'll try and source replacement speaker units and fit them in again. Be nice to keep. Well, there's no point in trying to remove them, because it'll be left with two large holes in the headline, so may as well replace them. Back doors are just standard, the same as the other versions in the range, except you get the wiring grommet, which allows you to have central locking. I'll show you that in a minute. Backs of the seats are the same. The wee overhead dome light is a bit different. You see that small bit of black plastic, that's the sensor for the infrared central locking. What else is there? This version has got 3 grab handles. The driver's side doesn't get one, but every other one does, so that would have been a luxury feature, I suppose. I'll take a look inside. This is the door. Doors have rust. The rust isn't too bad underneath that door there. There's a wee bit in the corner here, but it's not too bad. Front doors, same sort of. There's not much rust down the side of it. Underneath, there's rust here, but it's solid underneath here, so repair. The sill is in remarkably good shape. There's no rust at all on the sill. Front wing, there's a bit of rust there at the mud flap, and in there behind the bumper where they all seem to do that. So the bonnet is still open. Lift it up. So this is the engine bay here. It's another XU engine. It's the XU9, I think. 1900cc, same as the 205. Possibly with a slightly different head, and I know it has it's carbureted instead of fuel injected like the 205. What else is there? There's some differences between this and the other one there is that it has power steering. So you've got this reservoir here and some extra piping to serve it. And the rust here in this wing here, see the exact same in the other two cars. That wing there has survived it. I've had this scuttled out and there's no rust on the bulkhead, which is a good sign. It's one place where 305s do seem to rust, is on the bulkhead, and then you're left with water coming into your glove box or down on the passenger, the foot pedals. The engine seems to be fairly dry. There's 138,000 miles, so it could do serviced, any items that need serviced. But at the moment it's driving, so I'm happy enough with it. The oil I checked and topped up before I started to drive it again. Timing belt would need to be attended to, and there's been a mice nest in the engine bay. I've started to eat this. Insulation on the top of the bonnet, so I'll have to source some a new insulation panel for that. But the bonnet itself is free of rust along this edge, which is quite good. The front bumper is a bit faded, but in good shape, and the stainless steel trim is present. Original alloy wheels are fitted, which is nice. Mud flaps are a bit mangled looking, but still present. There's some more rust here present in along the lower valance and wing. Bumper mount may be rusted through, and the wing has rust, but it's all stuff that can be fixed. This vinyl decal will need to be removed for re-spraying and replaced, but it's nice to see it. The door is a bit stiff, but it opens, and there's very little rust on that door, apart from just there, that point here, which seems to be just surface rust. The A pillars and B pillars, where all the doors mount to, are solid, which is good. Back door is slightly stiff as well. You can see the pillars has very little rust, and the back door has no rust underneath it. There's a bit of rust here at the corner of the door, which isn't as bad as it is in this. Well, the door is free of rust nonetheless. This one's stiff, it closes okay. And there's the roof rails, they seem to be fitted to all the estates. Around the back of the car, there's the score and the dent here, but the light has not been damaged. The boot lid has this bit of rust here, but other than that it's quite straight. There's a bit of rust here, but there's no leaking happening inside. It's quite good. There's rust here, but it's fairly good for 305 tailgate. The boot opens up. That's quite big, but there's a lot of dog hairs in the back, so I'm going to take a while to clean this. The hoover. These few panels just would need to be glued back into place. That's the sunroof cover. There's a bit of damage to this light, but generally the boot's in good condition. That back down. Doesn't seem to be releasing the key correctly. And the stainless steel trim is missing from this boot. There's the driver's A-pillar. So we're back inside the car now, and one of the features it does have is this flip, which brings a remote central locking. It's infrared, and it works by sending the signal to this sensor here, and pressing the button locks and unlocks the car. It works on all 4 doors except the boot. The boot you still have to use the key. Then may or may not actually be a central locking feature in the boot, but I doubt it because the boot on all 305 seem to be using a different key. The previous owner or someone has wired this up. The full beam function on the indicator wipe and light stock doesn't work, so this has been wired up here. I do see it mentioned as an advisory in the MOT book, the last MOT certificate, but it's something that I'll like to fix and put a blanking switch back in there because it's not original. The headlight height adjustment is working. That's a rear windscreen washer, although you have that on the stock as well. The car has no tax, insurance, MOT yet, so it's not currently on the road. Trying to get that one through the MOT in a couple of months' time, so there's no rush in getting this car on the road, especially with the S5 getting restored, but I can drive it around the yard just to show it works. There's no suspicious knocks or bang noises coming from the suspension, which is a good sign. The brakes are terrible, but that was mentioned in the MOT fail document. It's quite free revving. It's nicer than the automatic to drive, more exciting. The idle is sitting a bit high there, but it's possibly just the throttle cable. That's the cooling temperature there, and that's the fuel. Do you just have a light for the cooling temperature and the oil pressure there? There's no extra gauges as you would find possibly in the 205 GTA or 309 GTA. I'm sure the cluster could possibly be swapped with one of them cars to bring the extra gauges, but for the moment it seems to do the job just fine. Thank you for watching this video.